is next, Morny?
Razkov is. I'm
Here we
bringing
go.
in now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remember, if you have questions for us, ask your questions in the Q&A. Jump into the Q&A lobby so that you can join us in voice and ask your questions. Even if you don't want to join the voice chat, you're still absolutely welcome to ask your question in Q&A, and Morny will read your questions out. Just make sure to tell in your question, just at the end, tell them, could you please read this out? I'm shy or whatever. Raskov, how you doing, brother?
Hello. Long time since I watched the stream.
Yeah, it's been a fucking age.
Yeah. I always watch the VODs though, so
I appreciate it,
and
brother.
all the clips and stuff.
I appreciate it, bro.
So, yeah. So about my question, it involves me being an old-timer playing Guild Wars 2.
Okay.
And I no longer play it because I don't like the game anymore, and the people that I started to play with no longer play the game. Mm-hmm. But one thing that I really enjoyed in Guild Wars 2 was that we had armor dying. And I thought about this morning, if Blizzard has missed the chance to add some kind of gear dying system in Dragonflight, because we have 5 colors for each Dragonflight, and maybe it would have been nice to be able to choose the color for your gear from raids and stuff, to be exactly like the Dragonflight you would want to be part of. And the gear from LFR to Mythic journey, it would only improve in the look.
Yeah.
And amount of details the gear would have, like particles and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I'll first I just want to touch on something that you said right at the start before you asked your question. It's actually, in my opinion and in my experience, that's one of the number one killers of MMO players, is friends quitting the game. And this is why I said Blizzard needs to act very, very quickly. If they don't fix their shit and really come out with a banger, and I hope that Dragonflight bangs, but if they don't, you will soon start seeing friends quit. People are going to quit because people are collectively going to start having enough. They're not going to have fun anymore, and they're going to quit. And what ends up happening is, since one friend quits, another friend quits, another friend quits, another friend quits, and they just take, like, one person can easily take like 5 or 6 people with them, just based on a number of factors. So one guy quits and the guild can suddenly no longer raid, and because the guild can no longer raid, and another 2 guys quit because, you know, they're not interested in finding another guild, and that leads to more people quitting because, you know, they don't want to find other guilds, or maybe they're friends with these people that quit. So it can very quickly just get completely out of hand. So MMOs can actually die very, very fast if you don't fix your shit. So I really hope that Dragonflight bangs. But okay, to your question, so Blizzard's defense of not having dies is one of the stupidest defenses I've ever heard in my life. So according to Blizzard, when asked about this at BlizzCon, I believe this was BlizzCon 2019 or 20... Was it 2019? It may have been 2018 or even before that. But it was decently recently, let's say within the last 5 years. Blizzard was asked about dies, and their answer was that they don't use straight up colors on their armors. They use shading. And they can't make dyes available because the dyes wouldn't have the shading in it, and their armors are very specifically designed to be shaded. So that's why dyes can't be available in the game. And I remember thinking at the time, well, you could always just make the colors fucking shade automatically, right? So just make the armor, make like 20 different colors for that specific armor, and make the dyes available for those colors. It would be relatively fucking simple. I don't see why that would be such a big issue. More importantly, and this is perhaps the biggest part of it, so what if someone wants to look like an absolute knobhead? That's their right. That you see people running around with pink armor in the game. They look stupid as fuck. They don't look like a warrior that's about to save the world. But who gives a shit? That's their game. They want to look like a complete knobend running around with purple fucking armor or pink armor. And they should absolutely have the right to fucking do that, right? So I've never liked this because it goes to a bigger problem within World of Warcraft. And that is that Blizzard, they sometimes take themselves way too seriously. Like, just way too fucking seriously. Where they don't want players to have fun outside of a very prescribed area of fun, right? And it... On the one hand, you can understand this because it doesn't lead to, like, a whole list of degenerate shit happening in the game. But on the other hand, sometimes those things are what people crave. They want to be able to look like a complete dick. And, you know, that's just what they want to look like. Or they want to have fun in the most degenerate way humanly possible. And as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else, it should be possible for you to have fun that way. So I don't fully understand Blizzard's sort of reasoning around dyes and why those dyes don't exist. I see people in chat sort of saying, well, Accolonn, the dyes in World of Warcraft is normal, or LFR normal, heroic, and mythic gear. Even there, I'm going to say it still limits a person's freedom quite heavily, right? Because some people just have a specific theme. So you might love the way one armor looks, and it's going to look so cool with your favorite mount, but the colors are off. Your mount is gold, and the armor is fucking white, and it just doesn't look good together. And you would have loved to make your armor black because that would have looked so good with your golden fucking mount. But you can't because there's no black armor that would also look good with this mount. You know, so it really limits what players can do aesthetically for their characters. And just based on that, I will always err on the side of giving the players more, especially when it's things that will not outright break the game. Players looking silly and stupid in-game will not break the game, right? Providing that there are ways to look really cool in the game, right?
And one thing, for me, it's not even going that far, as you said. It's just that I saw the last Taliesin video where he and his wife are looking into the sets.
Yeah.
Into the new sets for each class. And yeah, I understand we have LFR color, we have normal, but every set, it's not much of a difference between LFR and mythic gear. You just have some small lightning that's around you for the mythic version. And if you're a person that maybe you have the fantasy of being part of the black Dragonflight and having a black dragon armor, something like that, you cannot get that only if you do mythic.
Yeah.
If you do the raid on mythic. So I'm not saying like you should be able to dye everything, like have a purple pants, have a white chest and things like that. Maybe even preset colors by Blizzard, like they did with the mount in Accolonn, which you could dye to your preference.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking. Maybe they could have done something like that, where you can change between 5 colors, not a lot of colors, and they do everything. You have everything everything being the preset. You cannot change it, just the color.
See, but this is where my first suggestion came from, is that so whenever an armor drops, you have a number of preset colors that people can choose from, and those colors are always just those colors are shaded and perfected for the specific armors and stuff, right? And you don't have unlimited dyes, but you at least have a number of dyes. And the way Blizzard could do this so that you still can't just do it at random, but that there's a little bit of interplay with actual RPG elements to it, you could have it so that a player needs to get, say, for every single type of shade that you want, there's a given amount of dyes that you need. So let's say, for example, you want to go for the black dye on your chest piece. Well, in order to dye your chest piece black, you need 1 black, 1 gray, and 1 white dye. And if you have all 3 of those dyes on your character, you can change your dye on your chest piece to the black shade, right? And yes, there's only 5 or 6 different colors, but they still have play within the game because you need the actual dyes that you collect from the game or buy from the auction house. And they're still shaded, so Blizzard can make sure that they don't look stupid. I wish Blizzard will do this because I think it's something that not only like hardcore RPers care for. I think it's even something that a lot of raiders will care for, because for a lot of people, the way they look in game is important. My character looks like a fucking spastic moron most of the time because I wear whatever the fuck I get. And that's how I play. I play my game very realistically. My character isn't good enough to have a tier piece or tier set, so he doesn't have a tier set. Instead, he has a collection of things that dropped for him throughout the entirety of the game. I once played for about 6 months on my Warlock, having a cloth robe and what looked like wooden shoulder pads. Right? It just looked like 2 sort of branches placed on top, or barks, tree barks placed on top of my shoulders. But that's all that dropped for me, so that's what my character wore. And, you know, that's how I play the game. I don't give a fuck about what I look like, because, yeah, I just don't focus on that. But for a lot of people, it is important. I think for immersion, very specifically, it can be incredibly important. So I do hope that Blizzard will... Look, everything at its time. I don't want to put too much on Blizzard's plate. I do think that that is something that's important. But on the list of things that is important, I don't know if that's as high up there. Right now, let's just hope that Blizzard pulls off a banger of an expansion with Dragonflight, and it looks like they will. So far, everything I've heard and everything I've seen of Dragonflight, I love. I like where they're going. I can't wait to fucking play. So let's hope this one bangs. If it bangs, yes. I want to see housing at some point. I want Blizzard to give us housing. Even if it's not immediately, I want them to tell us that they're working on it. So we can get housing. I want to see dyes. There's a list of things. I'm not going to go through all of it again. I have videos out on everything that I want to see.
Yeah.
But those would be my main things. I just want a banger expansion. I want to go back to the days of knowing exactly what I'm going to stream. I'm going to stream WoW, right? I'm going to log on, I'm going to play WoW, and we're going to react to stuff because WoW is the perfect game for reactions. I can sit here and farm my fucking dailies and watch videos with chat. It would be perfect. So I really hope to go back to those days. So I'm really hoping for a banger expansion in Dragonflight.
Yeah, me too. And this time I'm going without any add-ons at all. I want to experience the game without add-ons.
Me too. I'm gonna install the game, and whatever I have in the game is what I have in the game, and we'll see how that fucking goes. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I know that I'm gonna change my mind eventually. I'll probably eventually get something like a DBM or something to that effect, because the game is very unnecessarily difficult if you're playing without something like Bigwigs or DBM. But it can be done, and I have done it in the past. But since I don't do it hardcore anymore, there's no point for me to struggle to figure out how to raid without it. So I might just download it if I raid. I don't know if I'll raid even. But yeah, I really appreciate the question, bro. Ranskip, was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, thank you very much for bringing me here. And yeah.
Thank you for the question. I really appreciate it, bro.
I'm going to watch the next person.
Wow, thank you very much, bro. Take care of yourself. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you for the stream. Have a nice weekend also.
Peace
Bye-bye.
out, bro. Peace.